Welcome to the Economic Development Council's Vision of Progress. Today we're on location at the Economic Development Council's Roundtable, where we're going to hear from 4 innovative Okaloosa County manufacturers: Fort Walton Machining, BOTE Boards, GS Gelato, and Bay State Cable Ties. Stay tuned.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into this. Manufacturing. This is made in Okaloosa. Let me give you the academic economist take on why manufacturing is so important. It works like this, folks. Basically, we make it here, we ship it there, they ship money back to us. That's it. That's why manufacturing is the ideal in economic development. It's what we look for. You try to build a manufacturing economy, the rest will come. The rest will come. It'll follow. And I'll ask Corey to come up, and he'll do 7 minutes.
First, I'd like to say it's a privilege to be here. I know we're probably one of the newest businesses around here, and maybe one of the ones that a lot of people don't know a lot about. And so, I first wanted to start off just introducing our business and kind of the purpose and how we started. So as you guys can all see, and I'm sure you've seen them everywhere, especially when the weather gets hot, stand-up paddleboarding has become, one of the world's, and especially United States, fastest growing sports and leisure trends in the country. And in 2009, late 2009, my wife and I, Magda, who's sitting right here in the front row, really, got bit by the stand-up paddleboarding bug. And you can see why. I mean, the area is known for it. We've got, awesome waters, awesome coastlines. It's just the perfect area for our product. And so, we had tried a lot of different stand-up paddleboards in this, in this area, just other manufacturers throughout the country, and me being an engineer and having that background, just wanting to make things better, I was like, man, I get this, but these are crappy. Everything I tried just sucked, and they looked terrible. They were white, giant-looking surfboards, just didn't look good. And for me, the best part about this is I was like, man, this could be art. It could be done well and done nice. The problem was we had no money. We had nobody that believed in us. And, I had another job and a career as an engineer that, again, was paying the bills. So I had to do this on the side. And we started I started shaping boards underneath Mellow Mushroom in Destin. It's a little Sun Stations building, and there was a little garage. And literally every night I'd go up there and crank away shaping boards, using, of course, it sounds very rudimentary, but I did use engineering skill to it. I had engineering software programs and design programs to actually design these things in 3D and make sure what I was doing was going to work before I just went and wasted a whole bunch of time making something. So for about the first 6 months, I was literally cranking away in a garage, like all, I guess you could say, fundamental businesses in the United States have done. Starts, very simple. And for about the first 6 months, it was a nightmare. I mean, every night we had a 1-year-old kid, so I'd be shaping until 3 a.m. in the morning, making products, going to work the next day, doing my engineering job, at night going, making more, trying to sell these. In the meantime, we'd be going to trade shows all over the country. We'd go to boat shows, we'd get on the phone, we'd make an internet, trying to build our internet website up to try to get this brand off the ground. And finally, I had to make the leap. I said, look, I got to go into this full time to make this work, or else I'm just going to kill myself working nonstop. And so we cashed in our 401ks worth about $7 grand, and which I know it's scary, thinking about that now. But so we cashed in, and I said, to hell with it, man, let's do it. And so we started making, and literally, I mean, I thought I was going to kill myself during the first the first year. And Magda, I was like, God, I'm going to quit. This is just so much work. I went to school, got this engineering degree. Here I'm doing this crap, making boards, doing this, and it fired me up. But for some reason, I was motivated because it was my passion, and I just really wanted to do it. And everything about the product and what I was doing and the people that I got to meet doing it, and the joy that I got to see when people use the product, and everybody that would use it would just say, man, this is awesome, it's changed my life, I'm able to exercise, I love fishing on them, it's killer. And so I never got that in engineering. that's kind of how we started. And from there, our business model, speaking on the business sense, we started direct to consumer. So we were basically selling directly to consumers with our products. We moved from selling out of a warehouse in Destin to a storefront in Destin, to where then we had a physical storefront to where people could come in, see our brand, see our products, and we were able to really diversify our offering because we had a retail presence. And it was at that time that we started getting a lot of people throughout the country who would visit our retail stores and who would also own outdoor stores or water sports stores throughout the United States. And they'd say, hey, are you guys interested in wholesaling your products to us? We'd love to sell them in South Florida or Atlanta or somewhere in Birmingham or whatever. And so we addressed the idea. We're like, yeah, I think we can do this. You know, we have to increase our production. We have to increase our capacity. Obviously, we're going to get less margin here selling wholesale, but the end game ultimately is to have a presence throughout the United States, more so than just in Destin. So essentially what we were going to do is package the Destin lifestyle in our product, in our photography, in our branding, in our videos and everything, and really sell that throughout the country. In 2011, we started going to trade shows. We started essentially our wholesale business to where we were picking up accounts all over the country. That's when our business ramped up dramatically. We were able to start hiring a lot of people for different areas, you know, more people to help make stuff, to pack stuff, to ship stuff. As you can see, these things are giant, and so shipping them somewhere is essentially like moving a car, except they're fragile. You know, it's not like a car. They have to be put in boxes, put on pallets, put in freight trucks, shipped out somewhere. So this entire logistical nightmare for us had to be solved. They're huge, so we need lots of space, which is good for the local economy because we need bigger warehouses to store them as we grow. And, you know, so we were doing all these things to help build the business. And in a sense, it really helped us understand that, you know, this isn't easy. I mean, selling retail and doing all this kind of stuff is simple because you're right there, it's consumer, you're done. Going nationwide really took kind of a business transition for us, you know, from day one, to really try to sell the entire business. And from that, we've gone from essentially 2 employees in 2011 to 25 employees, you know, as we speak now. We've got over 200 accounts throughout the country, you know, represented all the way up to, you know, Seattle, all the way down to Key West. We're in 10 countries right now, you know, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. I can tell you one thing that they didn't tell me when I was at Auburn is how to run a business. They taught me how to engineer, which I think is a great skill. But, you know, what I've learned since doing this is that everything is you know, a lot harder than anybody's going to tell you. Current notes on our business, this year we're on track to do almost $18 million of revenue in terms of selling stand-up paddleboards. And, you know, we've been in business for 6 years. We've been doing 100% growth year over year, and that's as fast as we can make them. And, you know, we haven't touched the international market because the margin's low and people don't want to, you know, pay more for it, and I can get more for it here in the United States. And as soon as we're able to catch up and keep growing, I mean, we're going to be in Europe, we're going to be everywhere else. So it's, like I said, it's killer. It's been everything I wanted it to be. And
But good job. Give him another hand.
So for Walton Machining, you've heard a lot about us over the last few years. I'll tell you just a brief history, and then I'll go into really what we manufacture. The company was founded in 1987 by 2 individuals out of Pensacola, and then the McDonald family bought the company in 1993. And that's kind of when the growth started. You know, they were just here to service the military bases, Eglin and Herbert Field, really, at the time. I came to Fort Walton Machining in 2002. And I started as a planner, project manager there, and Tim McDonald and I had a pretty good relationship, thought a lot alike. And in 2004, he came to my office and said, "You want to run my company?" And I'm like, you know, 2 years being there, and it was kind of a shock. So in 2004, when we took over as a team, we were 56 employees, and we've grown that today to 214 employees. So the growth really started with the military defense side. Even though we were military and defense very heavy, but we were pretty much just base support at that time. But we started quoting for people like Boeing and Lockheed and Northrop Grumman and Raytheon, and you can just continue to name them down the line. So primarily our business is made up of defense aerospace. So if you look at that, about any aircraft you see flying around here today, which you see a lot, we have a part that's in that aircraft. F-35, we had at one time about 178 unique part numbers we produced for the F-35. That's down a little bit just because of the volume of the F-35 hadn't ramped up to where they thought it was going to ramp up. You know, the 2016 projection was 1 aircraft out of the hangar a day, and I think we're about 30-some now, maybe 40. And I know that's going to ramp up. That's what I'm being told anyway. For the CH-47 helicopter, you know, the two-bladed prop, not the V-22. But we do all the floor panels for that helicopter, and we actually won a new program just, it's been several years ago now, but it's ramped up very nicely. It's called the COOLS program. And that was to put the floors in the aircraft with rollers in them so that the aircraft, when it landed, where the troops can do their mission, get the product off that helicopter in a quick fashion. So it went to probably about, I think it was a 2 or 3 hour unload to about a 15 to 20 minute unload. So that keeps our troops safer by getting them off the ground as soon as we can. The A-10 aircraft, we do product for it in the landing gear side. The C-130 is another big product of stuff we do, and it's a lot of rework on the, or not rework, but remissioning the C-130. So you've heard of the guns firing on Eglin Air Force Range. We don't produce the gun, but when they cut the hole in the side of that aircraft and put the gun through it, all the structure that's put back in that aircraft we manufacture. We had won an award called, it was a, well, we didn't really win the award, but Dragon Spears was a big program. It was done on Eglin Air Force Base and then transferred out to Waco. And L3 actually won the award, but we are partners with them in that. So anything the 105, 30 mil, we made the 25 mil structure around the gun. So a lot of C-130 work. Then we kind of started diversifying into what I call high-tech commercial. Our processes that are based around the aerospace and defense are very tight tolerance. If you've ever been through Fort Walton machining, a lot of precision machinery there, a lot of measurements that go on. So the process has to be defined so we know exactly where that material came from in case there was a recall on a product. So with that precision, we started doing work for Johnson & Johnson. They do the AccuView contact lenses. So anybody that wears contact lenses, a lot of we don't actually make the molds that make the contact lens, but we make a lot of the product that carry that contact lens through the process and actually inspect that as well. So from that, we also went to Walt Disney World. One of the things we do for them is the seat belts. So if you go to Walt Disney World and you ride the Tower of Terror, we've made those seat belts for them. So feel safe, right? We got a great team there, and we've actually had to remake seat belts because other people did not do it right. So we're very, very fortunate to have Walt Disney World as a customer, and we like to say that. The next thing what kind of diversified into was oil and gas. We thought, you know, we've got aerospace defense, we've got now some high-tech commercial, now let's look at oil and gas. So we did that in 2008, and that became a pretty significant part of our business until, of course, the barrel of oil went down. But so if you look on that board over there, you'll see it up in the upper left-hand corner. That's a drill head. That makes the hole in the dirt. It's like an end mill for how we machine product. They mill the dirt with that and make a hole that goes down, I don't know how many feet, and they get the oil out of the ground. So that became about 30% of our business. Today, it's about 2% because of the volatility of the oil and gas. So I said, okay, what are we going to do next, right? The next obvious thing was commercial aerospace. And today we have probably about 10% commercial aerospace right now. And a lot of the product is the 737, which is a good platform to be on right now, and the A320 is a great platform to be on. So we're doing A320 and 737 work, not direct for Airbus or not direct for Boeing, but it is direct to United Technologies Aerospace Systems is one of our larger customers. So we continue to think through how we diversify, right? So some of that was space related. When the space shuttle was still kicking here in Florida, we did a lot of work for the space shuttle. Actually had astronauts fly in and give us awards, as Dr. Goetsch said, and that pumps the team up when you have an astronaut come in and say, hey, thank you for the job you've done. Wrapping up, you know, I think that Fort Walton machining this year should grow. That's what the projection is. Our metal finishing division, which I didn't even talk about that diversity, didn't have the time, but it's a service that we provide that is, you'll see the tanks over there that actually put coatings on products. We'll probably be, I would say, by end of year around 200 and maybe 30 employees, something like that. So some good growth, and that's in the metal finishing side. So
Gelato, like you guys know, is a manufacturing of authentic Italian gelato, and yes, we are very proud to say that we are the leaders in the country for both food service and retail. So what does that mean? We sell gelato, we manufacture gelato here in Fort Walton, and we sell it everywhere in the country in the restaurant industry. So restaurant chains, individual restaurants, hospitals, cafeterias, and we have a network of salespeople, brokers, and distributors that take our product from here to anywhere in the nation. Then we do retail, and in retail we specialize in private label. So what that means is that we formulate very specific programs and flavors, and we develop all the private label programs, like I said, for the major retailers in the country. So we have a genius that his name is Guido, and he's the one that really creates all these beautiful products. And so we go to market with these products, and because of the very customized service that we give, that has allowed our company to be really the leader in the market for private label. In these past few years, we have always been also been the recipients of several awards, awards that go from innovation to excellence to the best products in the country, you name it. But the most important one, and the one that I think I would like to share with you today, is that last year we were awarded this very beautiful recognition, and it's called the Inc. 5000. So GS Gelato was one of the first 5,000 companies, and across the nation we were in the first 2,000 for growth. But within the manufacturing industry, we were number 39. And the way this calculation worked for the Inc. 5000, it was combining the growth of the 3 previous years. So GS Gelato in the past 3 years had a staggering 191% growth that brought us to be the 39 in the country. Thank you. So how did it start? How did we get here? Obviously from my accent, I'm not from here, I don't make it up. So Guido and I came from Italy in 1996. And I think that our story is the classic American dream story, where we were madly in love, and still are, right, Guido? Hopefully. And we decided that for ourselves and for our kids and for our generations to come, we wanted to do something good with our life and to make a difference in our life, but also in the life of others. And Guido, which most of you guys know, is the creator of everything. He's always creating. And so he said, let's go to America and make gelato. I said, you crazy? What do you want to do? I'm sure they were fine without gelato. I mean, they don't miss us. But anyway, Guido is very persuasive. So long story short, we came to the United States to make gelato. The problem was that, like Corey said, he had no money. We didn't know the language besides not having... So we didn't speak English. We didn't know anything about the American regulations. We didn't know about the bureaucracy. We didn't even know what a Social Security was. We didn't know what a credit history was. And there you go, these 2 Italian guys come from Italy, and they think they're going to conquer America with gelato. Right, Guido? Well, did it happen that way? At first, absolutely not. It is 20 years that we are here. It took, at the beginning, and even today, but at the beginning, nobody knew what gelato was. And it took every ounce of our energy, every ounce of our strength, every ounce of our passion, determination, belief that gelato would one day have become the evolution within the ice cream industry. The logical thing that should have been done, according to a lot of suggestions that we had received and according to the numbers of our company at the beginning, was wrap it up and go back where you came from. But because of what I just said, and we don't give up, We just don't give up. If we believe in something, we go, and you're going to have the breakthrough one day. And we sure did. Another thing that Guido and I always, and I think all the employees in our company, in our team, is that we try not to focus on the process, but to focus on the outcome. It becomes a little bit less painful, even though you have to go through everything. So yes, we made a lot of mistakes. Yes, we went through very moments where we thought that there was not going to be tomorrow, but we kept and we keep, even today and for years to come, we keep pushing forward. So this is pretty much our little American dream story. And we are very, on behalf of myself, Guido, and the entire company, Gelato, our team, we are very honored to share it with all of you today. We are very proud to say that Gelato was born and raised in Okaloosa County and is growing in Okaloosa County. Maybe if one day we get a road, that would be even better. Sorry, Nathan.
District 3.
Oh, God. And I want to thank everybody, we want to thank everybody in this room, everybody that is not in this room, and our team and our employees for not giving up on us, for sticking with us, for believing in us, and for giving us the opportunity to carry on our American dream. Thank you so much.
The election that's going on, and Donald Trump saying we need to make America great again, and Miss Clinton saying we need to make it whole again. I think they should come down here and see what great and whole already is, because they don't know what they're talking about. If you listen to this, it's here, it's now, it's right here, and we all should be proud of that. I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about Bay State and then also about the EDC and some of the things they've helped us do, and maybe you could learn something from it, and it can help your companies. But basically, Bay State Cable Ties was started 12 years ago in Massachusetts. That's the name. That's where we got the name Bay State. We decided we wanted to become a manufacturer. We went all around the country. Looked at a lot of different places and settled here mainly because of the EDC and the work that they helped us do to find the location and everything like that. So we came down with 3 employees and 0 sales 12 years ago and moved into a 75,000 square foot facility and said, oh God, what are we going to do with this thing? We had no idea. We never manufactured before or anything like that. And we did just like everybody else. We just didn't quit. Well, time went on, and we started making cable ties, and we made more and more and more cable ties, and we added more and more and more machines. Before we knew it, we were 10 years into it, double-digit growth, and we actually outgrew the size of our building. So today, we're almost $25 million in sales, and we have 120 employees, all from this growth in this area here. So it's been fantastic for us. But when we needed to grow, the neighboring states of Alabama and Georgia came after us very strong to try to incentivize us to move to their states. They were going to give us, you know, tax breaks and property and everything like that. And I listened to them. I really did. But then I said, Florida, Okaloosa County, Florida have been good to us. So why don't we be honest with them and tell them what's happening? So I went, and I think Nathan we met and Caroline we met, and I was honest with them, and I said, this is what you're facing. I'm not looking for anything for free. I don't believe in that at all, but this is what the others are offering. What can we do? Some contacts were made, and Governor Scott actually called me and said, look, we want to keep manufacturers in the state. What can we do? So we talked back and forth with him. We worked with Nathan, we worked with Caroline, we worked with the whole EDC, and we came up with a plan that worked for us and worked for the state of Florida. We said, if we grow and we make our commitments, then the local and the state will help us with what we're doing going forward. And it's been successful. We opened a new facility, almost 25,000 square feet in October. We were able to do that through the, what's it actually, I forget what it's called, but the accelerated permitting So the expedited permitting, we were able to put the building up in get the permits done in 21 days, and the building was done in 45 days, which is unbelievable. Governor Scott was instrumental. I probably talked to him every other week. He just wanted to keep tabs and make sure everybody was doing what they needed to do. And I think some people probably knew that he was involved, so that also kind of helped everything. It helps, right? But we opened the facility. Since then, we've already filled. Then we looked and we said, now how are we going to do? What are we going to do with this? But we've already filled that facility. We have 2 more machines, and each machine that we have to make cable ties, the investment in the machine is about $1 million for the machine, the molding, and everything like that. Everything that we can do in America, we also do. We have 1 more machine coming in March, another one coming in June. We've added 20 new employees. We committed to adding 40 over 6 years. We've already added 20 in 3 months. So I think we'll probably hit our targets pretty easily. And just as a kind of background on cable ties, we do run 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We service several industries: HVAC, electrical, fastener, aerospace, do-it-yourself, automotive. So if one market's down, it balances us out, and that's what's helped us grow. Our target this year is to grow 20%, which we're very comfortable that we'll be able to do that. We make everything from a 4-inch tie to a 36-inch tie. I don't think we'd want to walk around with 36-inch ties in here, but that'll give you a feel. China is probably our bigger competitors, but we beat them every day, and we're proud of that. And just to get a concept around it, last year alone we manufactured and sold 1.6 billion cable ties. That's a lot of cable ties. I think it's important to understand some of the things that we did do with the EDC, and then if people have questions, we can expand upon this. But we were the first company to apply for and subsequently been approved for the ad valorem tax exemption. The first company to go through the expedited processing for the permits, which only took 21 days. The first company to apply for and get approved for the high impact bonus for manufacturing. We met the criteria for HB 33A. It has been successful. I think the return on the investment for us obviously will be good, but the return on investment for this community would be good. Because if we moved away, we would have moved 100 jobs out of here, which is 100 families, which I really didn't want to do. As I said, we've already added 20 new jobs, and we're looking every day to add more. So I think it's been successful, and I'm glad that we're here. I like this community. I like everything that's happening here. I like the positive attitude and the ability to get things done. And I think we can all continue to work together and make it even more successful. So thank you.
What a passionate group of manufacturers we're lucky to have in Okaloosa County. If you share my enthusiasm, you think, well, how can we grow this sector? How can we bring more companies like this into Okaloosa County? Well, I think we've heard some things today that will help us do just that. Let's focus on those opportunities and growing that talent pool. We look forward to sharing more information with you in the coming weeks, and I'm going to go enjoy this gelato.